Hi, in this Chordious tutorial, I'm going to show how to extend the Scale Finder functionality by adding new scales with the Scale Manager. This tutorial assumes that you already have Chordious installed and that you've tried out the Scale Finder before. If you haven't, I recommend following the installation tutorial video and then the Finding Scales with the Scale Finder tutorial video first. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to open up the Scale Finder here. It's a bit larger. You'll see my current settings are defaulted to a ukulele and reentrant C tuning, looking for a C major scale. Now if I click the little drop down here, you'll see all the scales that are built into Chordious. But let's say I would like to find a scale on the instrument that's not one of these built-in scales. With Chordious, that's really easy to do. Chordious is not limited to the scales that it knows about built in. You can add your own. And we do that by clicking the little pencil button here to launch the Scale Manager. This is very similar to what you'll see if you click that button in the Chord Finder to look at the Chord Manager, the Chord Quality Manager. So in the Scale Manager here, you can see we have a list of all the scales that are built into Chordious. If I click on one, say the major scale, and click on Edit, or I can double click on it, it will bring up the Scale Editor. And I can see for a scale, we have a name, and we have all the intervals. These are all the intervals above the root note in half steps. So 0 is the root note itself, and then we have 2 half steps or a whole step up here, and up and up and up to add all of the notes of the scale. And we're given the example in C. So in this case, the C major scale are all the natural notes here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. But let's say I want to add a custom scale, one that isn't already known to Chordious. So for an example, I have here, bring up Wikipedia, and we have an interesting looking scale here, the Ukrainian Dorian scale, also known as Ukrainian minor scale. And thankfully we have a step pattern here, but also we have the notes in the key of C. So I can go to the Scale Manager here in Chordious, click on the Add button, or I can always right click and click on New right here. For this, I'm just going to click on the Add button right here. I'm going to add in Ukrainian Dorian. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to add 8 so that I can wrap back around to the root note. So we have 0, right here is the root note, the first C. Then we have a D. I go up 2 half steps, we have a D now. And then I want to go up another one, so 3 gives me the E flat. I want an F sharp. So we'll make this 5. And you can see as I'm adding in the notes, oh, like I made a mistake there. That's supposed to be an F sharp. I can go ahead and increase this, turn it into an F sharp. Okay, and then a G. And then A and B flat. Right, and then I'm going to end it here. I'm going to have a C so I get all the way back around to the root note again. Now that's up to you. By default, all the built-in scales in Chordious come back to the root note, but you don't have to. I'm just going to do it for this one here. I go ahead and click OK. And now if I close this, go back to the Scale Finder, you'll now see when I click on the list of scales here, we have the default scales built in down here, and we have the new user scale that I just created, Ukrainian Dorian. If I click on that, go ahead and hit search. And there we go. Here's how you play that scale on a ukulele tuned in C, or a C Ukrainian Dorian, or a C Ukrainian minor scale. Just to show that it's showing the right notes, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Search. Now you'll see each note, each mark has the correct note on it. And that's it. That's how easy it is to add your own custom scales into Chordious that you can use with every instrument and every tuning that you have in Chordious. You don't have to enter in the actual notes of the scale, you enter in just the intervals. And when it's saved in here, I could, for example, switch this to, say, a guitar in standard tuning and look for an E Ukrainian Dorian and search and see what we can find. And there's a bunch of different ways to play that scale on a guitar. That's it. Thank you for watching.